welcome to Sip Code. And today we are not doing a cup of code, but we are talking tech money in South Africa. So we want to see what software engineer salaries are in SA. So that's one thing that we want to check out, and we'll be checking out like two sites. It will be Indeed and Talent.com, and we want to start on Indeed and see what we have for as a software engineer. How much can you make on average in South Africa? And looking at what they are saying according to the data that they have, is average base salary will be 43k, and that's per month. So 43k, I would say it's decent uh, in the earlier years of your career. So it's not something that's too bad or something that you can cry about, unless of course you have like high responsibilities. Then it, it will be a lot will be eating into your money, obviously. But if you have few responsibilities, early days of your career, a couple of like maybe 2 years in, around there, 3 years, it should be fine. But going over and above that, then obviously that wouldn't be the case. And also for 43k, um, what else can you be doing? You get yourself a decent car. If you're paying rent, then you get an affordable place. And with those two, and you factor in your, say, your medical aid, life insurance, and you should be fairly good. And what we want to do also, we'll be checking the tax calculations on these as well. So let's see what are the top, the high paying cities near South Africa. Okay, these are in South Africa, but this is their wording so that yeah, they protect themselves. So let's see. So the highest one is Stellenbosch, and that's obviously Cape Town, Western Cape, actually, not Cape Town, but yeah. So Stellenbosch 55,000 per month. Johannesburg second 54,000 per month. Centurion 50,000 per month. So if you're around these areas, then the companies there would actually be willing to pay more, because in these areas it's mostly influenced by the project that these companies are involved in. So it will be big project, they have a big client base, and they're servicing big organizations. So that's why they have the money to pay for all of these resources. And let's just go into Stellenbosch and see what you can give us. So already we know that that's 55k, that's average base salary. And if you're around Stellenbosch or Western Cape, you see the Stellenbosch is still number one, City Bowl, then Cape Town, then Durbanville, southern suburbs. How do you pronounce this? I always struggle with pronouncing this. Gorge or George. It's just weird how they call it. I know that they don't call it George. It's definitely not what they call it. Observatory and Somerset West, then northern suburbs. So you already know that, okay, if a company is around these areas, you would go for, or if let's say you're in observatory or you get something there, there's nothing bad about it. It's just a matter of looking at which area would best fit your type of lifestyle and where you'd be most happy. But I would say when you're looking into growing a career, money is not the important factor. It's just a matter of the lifestyle that you need to be able to at least afford the living standards of that area, and you should be fairly good to live a decent lifestyle, because you wouldn't want to be diamond walking on a salary. That's not what I recommend. So on my side, what else? The other thing that I want us to check is the talent.com. So on talent.com, their average salary is 55,000, which is the same as um, Western Cape. So if you consider that, I think talent.com just gives a blanket approach to South Africa than Indeed, because Indeed at least can filter it to specific areas or specific cities based on the responses and the data that they've gathered across companies around these areas. So, which is a good thing to zoom into the area that you are in, know what is going on there, or the areas that you would want to be in also, seeing, because you need to consider living expenses, how much like a if you are looking at moving, how much rent would be, say Johannesburg, for example, in this case, if you want to be in Johannesburg, how much would the rent be? How far would you be from work? Will you need transport, and how much will that be? Or are you looking to buying a car or maintaining the car you already have, and all of those things? Just the living expenses of such an area, then that should give you an idea that at which amount are you comfortable in. So now let's get to the nitty gritties of calculating your actual take home, say on an average of, let's use the 54,000, that's fine, but I'm going to use talent.com because they have just calculate, and you can see also here they have like related salaries that they project, like Java developer 75k, systems analyst 64, .NET 60,000, business analyst 59,000, IT manager 55,000, software engineer 55,000. So all of these you can just zoom in. Let's just zoom in onto this one before we check the text and stuff. So Java developer average salary in South Africa 75k per month. And what do they say here? So the average salary in South Africa is 901,000 per annum, or 462 per hour. Entry level positions start as 540 per year, whilst most experienced workers make up to 9 million per year. So as you can see, they give you all these numbers that it's not really like an actual number, but it's based on the numbers that, or the data they've gathered on other people that are in the field, and they sort of work out an average based on all of those guys. You can be at around the 75 mid career, around there. You can be at 540 beginning of your career, that's still fine. And as you go higher and higher and higher, and depending on the trajectory of your career, you might even get yourself that 9 million per annum opportunity. And obviously at that point, you you wouldn't be worried about where you are, what's happening. You just good. You just good. So let's just see how much would you be taking after taxes. So this is a tricky one, but let's just see. So obviously they're gonna factor in a couple of things that you, okay, let's see, this is 20k. So if you're earning 20k gross income, that's per month. And so what you have is your payee, and you also have your UIF. So if you only have these two things, you're earning 20k and you only have these two things, And I know this because you do have like those small companies, and you only deal with this. You don't deal with like insurance, medical aid, or any other things. You just deal with a couple of things, and essentially you can get like that 17K into your bank account, and that's what's gonna come into your bank account, and you already know that, oh, okay, this I can live off it. My rent, maybe it's 5,000, and then after that you're able to pay for buy groceries and then do other stuff with that money. But I wouldn't recommend someone getting a car with this salary. Or you can get like a small entry level car that won't cost you a lot. You wouldn't want to be on 17K and then getting like a big engine car that will destroy your salary, and then at the end of the day you have like 2,000 left, and you are stuck with that for the rest of the month, and petrol and stuff. All of those things are just expenses that are going to eat off your money. So the advice would be, look at the lifestyle, look at the living expenses in that area where your job is, or where you're looking to work, and also consider that. So let's see, on a 55,000 per month, and let's calculate this, the average. Let's see how much we get. So you see, at 55,000, and your payee will be 13K, your UIF will be 177, and then your net pay is 41,000. So it will be around this figure. The reason why I'm not saying it will be this figure is because, as you know, everything changes as time goes. So what you'll be getting, it might be somewhere around here, might be less, might be more, but obviously these calculations are as accurate as they can be. um, and once you, obviously once you are here, you would then want to factor in your medical aid, make sure that you're in good health, make sure that you have a decent place to stay, a car, if needs be, and whatever expense that you would have to factor in. You just need to make sure that at the end of the day you have at least enough money to save, enough money to pay for all your other expenses or responsibilities, and still be good. So this is not so bad, but obviously this at this stage you'd probably have more things that would come into your payslip. Um, Not just these two, but these are just the basics that will always be there on your payslip. So your medical aid, as I've said, will come in after your life cover things, or funeral cover things. All of those things will come in here, um, to calculate all of your expenses before the final number that you will get into your bank account. And for this one, I just wanted to go over what you can make average as a software engineer, and obviously depending on where you are at your level. But most probably, if you're like mid-career, you're looking at maybe around this number. Could be more, could be less. Obviously, different companies have different opportunities, and also different areas. As you have seen, you have different figures being pointed at. But on the next one, I'll be looking into drilling down into the roles particularly. So as we've seen here on talent.com, for the Java one, let's just go back. So what we want to do is to drill into each and every role that is there. Developers, project managers, business analysts, testers. We'll be drilling more into each role and how much you can make at each level, and see how that can assist maybe tech geeks to also grow and understand the costs and the compensation that they will be getting against the lifestyle that the place that they maybe got an offer to would be willing to give them, and how they can make the right amounts to survive in those spaces and not be caught up at a element of surprise. So I hope this was helpful, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. We'll be drilling more into each role and see how you can make informed decisions and be better at looking for opportunities that will help you grow as well. Thank you very much. Do like and subscribe. Look out for more. Cheers.